Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Little by little Russia works on undermining the US dollar as the world reserve currency and is going to switch with the Indians their trade in rupees. So they will eliminate the dollar. Not good, because they started a lot of business they increased the business in oil trade, gas trade. So this article comes from Sputnik, and usually that was done in US dollars or euros. US dollars are gone now, at least in this part of the world. Sputnik reports on the 20th of October that Indian lenders working with Russian banks to settle trade in rupees, Finance Ministry official says. Delhi amended its foreign trade policy last month to allow international trade to be paid in the national currency. The new mechanism is designed to help Indian businesses in their trade with Russia without the threat of US sanctions. So you see, US shot itself in the foot with this one too, not only Europe. Weeks after the Indian government allowed businesses to pay for international trade in rupees, two major lenders have joined hands with Russian banks under the newly introduced framework, a senior finance ministry official said on Thursday. And I'm quoting, "Few of the Russian banks are joining hands with the UCO Bank and Yes Bank. It will be primarily a rupee-based trade or could be a rupee ruble trade," the Indian official told reporters on condition of anonymity. One of the process between the banks is finalized. The Reserve Bank of India will grant them approval to initiate trade under the new mechanism introduced by the Indian Central Bank on July 11th. Once the process between the banks is finalized, the Reserve Bank of India will grant them approval to initiate trade under the new mechanism introduced by the Indian Central Bank on July 11th. Did I read this again? Yes. Oh my God. Anyway, banks exhibit keen interest in rupee-based trade settlements as India expects big jump in exports. The finance ministry hopes that rupee-based trade will curb the dependency on hard currency such as US dollars or euros, among others. Under the mechanism, all exports and imports may be denominated and invoiced in rupees. Indian exports are estimated that the move could boost exports to Russia. To about $5 billion by March 2023. That's not a lot, but how do you start a trip? With the first step. Nearly double the figure from the last financial year, so double. Earlier, Russia's Petersburg Social Commercial Bank told Sputnik that the bank opened a new correspondent account in rupees with a bank in India. It plans to provide trade settlements for Indian businesses from other parts of the world. Well, what can you do? Little by little, the little new club catches shape, and that would be on the framework of BRICS countries: Brazil, India, China, Russia, and South Africa. And then they have that, how is it called? Asian Cooperation Organization, something like that, where Turkey and Saudi Arabia want to be part of it. Now, Saudi Arabia showed interest in not Saudi Arabia, the first one was Iran and Turkey. And Saudi Arabia showed interest in joining BRICS, which is even worse than joining the Asian organization of those countries over there. No, that's even worse. Now, remember, in the BRICS, they want, Iran wants to go, Saudi Arabia, Turkey showed interest, Argentina, Venezuela, I think it was Algeria as well. There are countries that want to join that, and if they join that, that means they will fall under the economic umbrella of China and the military alliance between China and, or strategic, however you want to call it, China and Russia. We'll see what's going on with that. The thing is, economically, it seems like these countries little by little veer from United States and its hegemony, because if you look at it, if you don't do what they want to do, they want you to do, they will impose sanctions, blackmail and threats. And if you are bad enough, they will help a little uprising in your country and have a little revolution, if you know what I mean. Popular revolution, you know what I mean? Like the one in 2014 in Ukraine and elsewhere. But that's why it's better to be self-sufficient. Look at Hungary. Hungary depends on Russian oil and gas, but also it depends on a lot of money coming from Brussels. I don't understand that at all. At all. Why do you allow yourself as a country to depend on an organism that wants to change your culture, your traditions, your nation? And if you don't, they are not going to give you money and they sanction you. But they give to the weasels that accept doing that. I would not agree that at all. At all. It's like you agree to be in a neighborhood in an association, but you definitely have to have, I don't know, 15 children, or have 3 transgender children and 5 homosexual children, or whatever. Otherwise, you will not be in the association, and everybody's going to get money from the association's bank that they borrow the money. It's not that they make it, they have it. They borrow the money and they distribute it to other houses in the neighborhood, but not to you, because you don't have the values of the neighborhood. And what are you gonna do? Say, you know what, I'm gonna make it on my own. That's why you have to be self-reliant as much, at least with the strategic needs. With food, military, they can fuck you up whenever they want. That's not really, but with food, water, energy, you gotta have that yours. And those weasels are not gonna give you money. You're not gonna be starving. You're gonna be doing business with other countries. You don't need the billions from Brussels. So the same with these guys, with India. They try to do the same thing. They try to diversify their businesses, not only with the United States. They're not saying, oh, we're not going to do business with you. We're going to do business only with Russia. No, we want to do business with whomever is advantageous to our national interest. That's a healthy way of putting things in perspective and acting upon this. When you are alive, you are alive for your own. You have to stay alive. Every decision that you make, basically you make it for you, and then you extend it to the next closest members of your family, and then people around you and whomever you love and you respect and so on. You're not going to sacrifice for an unknown person. You're not going to sacrifice for your enemy. If you have enemies, if you're a Christian, then you don't have any enemies. You love them all, and you let them punch you in the face, and you turn the other cheek, they punch you again, and knock you out. Okay? So, but if you have enemies, of course you look at your own interests. Or if you have people that you don't really have anything to do with them, you look at your own interests, your family, this is the first thing you do. You have to be self-reliant as much as you can. This interdependency that globalization wanted to create, no, that's bad, because they can strangle you whenever they want. There's a problem in that country who makes milk, you're not going to have milk anymore. Is the country who makes wine, no, you can't have that one, and so on. You have a problem with them, they will not give you wine. What are they going to do? Make your own wine, and so on. So yeah, these guys, Indians, are not idiots. Obviously, they are smart people, and they know what to do. Especially is their Foreign Minister Jai Shankar, I think is his name. Fantastic, intelligent and ballsy guy, like Lavrov. Yeah, not like Lizzie Truss, who's crying right now somewhere because she was kicked out of where she was not supposed to be, and Baerbock of Germany, another weasel, or Blinken. Anyway, thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.